Here we go. Okay, so I want to start seated. Now, a couple of options seated. A lot of us have tight hips, right? So if you sit and you feel like, seated, and you don't really feel like you can sit upright very easily, and almost like the top of your pelvis can easily spill forward a little bit with keeping your lumbar spine, then just give yourself a little blanket fold and lift of your seat. And that can make a big difference. Sitting on the edge of the fold. So don't sit on the frayed side, sit on the roll of the blanket. And then we'll cross your legs, and then switch the cross of your legs to be the leg that you don't usually cross in front. And we're sitting right towards the front edge of our blanket roll. So you do feel maybe that pelvis, top of the pelvis can spill forward and kind of keeping the integrity of the curves of the spine. So then take your hands, and if it feels comfortable, open your palms on your lap and close your eyes, giving yourself, your mind in particular, permission to just be here now. So take a long breath in, and as you breathe in, extend some space all the way up the spine to the crown of the head. Not rigid, but just inviting. And as you exhale, invite some ease, softness, maybe softness in those fingers. Just let them oil in. Softness in the shoulders. Kind of take an inventory. Where are you holding some tightness? Just sitting like this. And then let's take a long breath in through our nose. And we'll pause right at the top, like at the crown of our head, feeling like we're drawing the crown of the head up slightly towards the sky. And then exhale that all out, either mouth or nose, whatever feels good. 2 more times. A long inhale, pausing at the top, as if you're drawing a thread up towards the ceiling from the crown of the head, keeping your tailbone rooted. And an exhale, softening back up. One more time at your own pace, adding that pause at the top. Filling up through your rib cage and belly. And then just begin to breathe normally. Palms are open as a sort of a sign of receiving, allowing, taking in what you need today from your practice. Then gently start to open your eyes. Place those hands on your knees, and we'll do some seated cats and cows. So inhale, let your back arch, let your heart come forward. Exhale, round your spine, come back into the seated cat. Really round through the shoulders too, draw the belly to the spine. And then a couple more rounds with that with your own breath, uniting the breath with the movement. Get big or even get not so big, right? So just kind of take this as big or as small as your body feels like it needs to do. With the breath. And then the next time you come up, come into your seated cow, right? So your chest is open, your shoulders are back. Take a long breath in. And on your exhale, hinge forward, hinge forward, hinge forward. Place your hands down either by your sides or out in front and fold down over your lap. You can take your arms out in front or keep them down by your sides. Drop in for 3 breaths here. drop your head. One more breath, breathe into the back body. Release any amount more. And then slowly come back up to your seat, really slowly. And lean back and now cross your legs with the opposite leg in front. It's a really loose cross, Sukhasana, right? Take your arms out to the side, stretch them away. And then interlace your fingers behind your back, make a fist. And then bring that fist over to your right hand. Now relax your right arm down. Take a breath in. And on your exhale, let your head just slowly come over to the right shoulder. So close your eyes here. Let the left shoulder and right shoulder drift in. Feel the sensation in that neck and shoulder area. And if you feel like this is just where you want to stay, stay. Otherwise, nod your head slowly, yes. Up and down. Noticing what's been hiding, or maybe not so hiding, in those traps, and neck and back and shoulder. And as you nod your head a few times up and down, if there's a spot where you want to linger, where it feels particularly tight, linger there. Breathe into it. And then come back to your seat with your arms extended. Reach out, inhale. And we'll just take that to the other side. Make a fist with your hands. Bring the fist to your left hip. Let your left hand rest. Breathe in for length. And let your head drop over to the left. So everything maybe kind of tightens up because there's a lot of tightness in this area for a lot of us. Just let the shoulders melt. Closing your eyes so you can have that interoception, that internal awareness. Maybe you stay or you start to nod. Go slowly again, get curious. Whatever pace you're nodding, if you're nodding, slow it down. And maybe move that head in any arrangement that you want. And then come back to your seat with your arms extended. Breathe in. And on your exhale, hinge forward, hinge forward. This time, just bring your hands out in front and fold over your lap. Drop your head. Now, if this is too strong with the hands out in front, bring your hands back by your hips. And now just drop in. 3 breaths. Let that pelvis spill forward. Let your torso melt forward. Let your head drop. And then start to make your way slowly back up to your seat. Ooh, and now let's start to move. So have your blocks towards the either side of the top of your mat. Move your blanket off to the side for later. And then start right in some cats and cows here. So hands and knees with your breath. Let's all breathe in, let the belly fall, let the chest lift. Exhale, round the spine, tuck your chin in. 2 more times. Inhale, lift. Exhale with the rhythm of your breath. Inhale, and imagine you're inhaling a sense of positivity, positive feelings, emotions. Exhaling, imagine you can just exhale out any negative emotions, feelings, thoughts. And then come to your neutral spine, untuck your toes, bring your knees a little wider, back to child pose. So send your hips way back, but make it an extended child pose. So take a peek at your index fingers, parallel them to each other, and engage through those arms. So squeeze those upper arms in, press into the mat as you send the sit bones back. Maybe wiggle a little side to side. Breathe into your side body. Keeping your hands where they are. Inhale, come up onto your knees. Tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Now you're free to move here in down dog, whatever way. And of course you're free to do any practice, right? But maybe you pedal it out a couple of times and then maybe hold it. Push those hands into the mat like you're trying to push the mat away. And see if you can invite length through that spine, sit bones drawing back. Heels towards the earth. Are your ankles lined up with your heels? 3 more breaths here. Now bring the toes to touch. Lift the right leg up, get really big in your 3-legged dog, breathe in. Knee to chest, round your spine. Hovering plank. Inhale, reach back up. And again, knee to chest, round the spine, push the ground away. Last time, inhale, get bigger, push away. Draw that left hip back. Knee to chest, this time step your foot between your hands. Back knee down. And come up onto your kneeling lunge, right? Hands on your thighs. Little tuck under in your tailbone. Draw your belly in. Keep that little, it's very subtle, tuck under. Start to let your hips come forward like a little, and then back out. That little tuck under, belly in, come back down, and back up. This last time, you can take one hand on your belly, one hand on your low back, and kind of with the hand on your belly, draw up a little bit energetically, and with the hand on your low back, draw down. Can you keep that and then bring the hips forward, holding it here this time. So find where you feel a good level of sensation in that left hip. The belly's drawing in, the tailbone's drawing down, and now release the arms. Reach them up, inhale. Goal post arms on the exhale, offer the heart. Kiss the shoulder blades to the spine and draw them into the chest. And then circle your hands around, half split, lengthen the front leg. So this is where you have your blocks if you'd like, or you can be on fingertips. Draw your heart forward. Draw the right hip back. Look to the top of your mat. No tension in the neck. Softening the back of the knee. And now walk forward. Left hand, place it down a little bit forward of the wrist, right? Of the wrist a little bit forward of the shoulder. Curl the back toes, lift the back leg, and then lift and open it to a twist. Nice and big. You can keep the back knee down if you'd like. Now wiggle that right foot off to the side. Place the right hand down, come into plank. Draw the shoulders back, draw the heart forward. You're into like a little baby cobra idea here. And then engage the legs. Fire up the thighs. Shift forward on the toes. Come halfway down. You can place the knees down. Inhale, push onto the tops of the feet, up dog. Linger here for a moment. Push down into the feet. And downward facing. 3 breaths here. Now if those up dogs, you feel like they're just too much for you today, take Cobra instead as an option where you keep your hips down. And now embody this down dog almost like it's home base. Push the mat away, send the hips back. Bring the feet together, take that to the other side. Inhale, left leg, reach it up. press it back, draw the right heel down. Exhale, knee to chest, push the ground away. Inhale, sweep it up. Exhale, knee to chest. One more time, inhale, reach. And step your foot through, back knee down. Make sure the front knee is over the ankle, right? And then just kind of do that. We can start with the hand on the low back and the belly, drawing the belly in and the tailbone down. Up and back, 3 dynamic, forward and back, and then hold it forward. Bring the arms up and just notice first. How do you feel in that right inner hip and the right quad? Take a breath in, find length through the spine, reach up. Can you invite just a little bit more forward with the hips? Now bend the elbows, goalpost arms. Offer the heart, open it up. And circle your hands down. Lengthen that front leg. Have the toes drawing straight back towards you. Draw the heart forward, flat back. Little bit of drawing the left hip back. And now walk your hands forward. Place that right hand down a little bit ahead of the shoulder. Lift the back knee. Take a twist, open. Maybe even lean back. Maybe get a little more stability with that hand there. And then wiggle that left foot off to the side. Set up your hands for plank. Fire up those legs. Draw the shoulders back. Draw the heart forward. Then come onto your toes. Now either knees or toes halfway down. Push forward. Inhale, up dog. Press into the tops of the feet. Looks great. Downward facing dog. Couple of breaths here. And now let's lift up high on the toes, bend the knees, walk, hop, or float to the top of your mat. Inhale, flat back, lengthen. Exhale, fold down. Keep your knees soft. Press down into those feet, come all the way up to standing. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, chair. Sink those hips back, reach through the fingertips. Lift all 10 toes off the mat. Weight back in the heels and then place them back down. Take a breath in. And on your exhale, fold and down. Going into a flow here, Suriname rock free. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, right leg steps way back. Low lunge. Sweep those arms up. Feel some freedom in that right hip. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, low. Inhale, floats you up. Exhale, floats you back. 2 breaths. Let your head dangle. Push into those hands. Maybe soften the knees a little bit and draw the heels down. Feel that if you've got some tight calves going on. Right leg lifts. Stretch it up nice and big. Big step forward. Back knee down. Sweep those arms up. Inhale. Take a back bend. Fingertips to the mat. Step to the top of your mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, liquid spine, fold it down. Push down into those feet, roll all the way up to standing. Inhale. And share pose, exhale. Hollow out through that low belly. Tailbone drops towards the earth. Maybe try sinking a little bit deeper, breathe in. And then feel the release as you let it go, fold. Inhale, flat back, lengthen. Left leg goes back, this time way back, back knee down. Sweep those arms up and back. Gentle back bend, fluid all the way from spine. Exhale, step back, downward facing dog. You can stay or float forward, use the whole body coming into plank. Whole body coming into chaturanga. Inhale, press into the tops of the feet. Up. Exhale, down. Let's do a lion's breath. Those are always fun. Take a long breath in through your nose. And then let's stick your tongue out and go, ha. That feel good. And then inhale that left leg, reach it up. Step your foot between your hands, back knee down. Sweep the arms up, liquid spine, invite that back bend. And then fingertips to the mat. Step to the top of your mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, we fold. So bring your feet hip distance apart here. Peace fingers grab the big toes. Inhale, look forward, come into your flat back, knees bent. Exhale, fold forward, fold down. Drop your head. Now you have some options here. You can draw the elbows out to the sides. You can spin the inner thighs back to add a little bit to this. You can keep the knees bent, especially if your back's been giving you trouble lately, or flirt with straightening the legs a tiny bit at a time. And then go ahead and release the toes. Push down into the feet. Feel the feet as you push down, come all the way up to standing. Roll up or flat back. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart, soften the knees, coming into airplane. So start to bring your right leg back and bring your arms back. Keep that left knee a little soft so that you can keep the glutes and the hamstrings engaged. And now offer the heart forward. Liquid spine, reach back strongly with that right leg. Long breath in, flying. I think I'm getting a little turnaround here. And then a gentle step back, finding your crescent pose. All right, inhale, reach up. Now link your thumbs, find your crescent. If you feel a little tippy, separate your feet a little wider apart. Now that thing we were doing with the pelvis, drop the tailbone straight down and draw your belly up and in. Maybe sink a little deeper into that front knee. Straighten out through that back leg. Take a breath in. Hollow out through the belly, engage the rib cage. Side bend to the left. Side bend over to the left. And then come back to center, open those arms, breathe in. Exhale, take a high twist here. Twisting to your left, right arm forward, left arm back. Sink a little deeper into the legs, and then inhale. Invite that twist all the way up the spine. And then inhale, those arms, reach them up. Exhale, step back into plank. Hold the plank for a moment. Pivot the heels to the right side plank. Lift that left arm up. Now choices here. Really engage the legs too. Engage that bottom leg. Try to stack the feet. Try to look up. Draw the right shoulder blade away from your ear. Maybe try to float the top leg up. 3, 2, and return back to downward facing dog. Now you have an optional flow here with your breath. Inhaling, exhaling. Key is to use the whole body, engage the whole body in these vinyasas, engaging the thighs, the belly. Back to downward facing dog. And then lift up high on the toes, bend the knees, look to your hands, walk, hop, or float to the top of your mat. Push down into those feet, come all the way up to standing, inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to your heart, bend the knees, this time the left leg reaches way back. So heart forward, Bring your arms back alongside your body. Lift the heart, engage that back leg. 4. Breathe in, 3, 2, and how gently can we step back to our crescent pose, right? Bend the back knee a little bit. Feel where you can let the tailbone drop down, the belly drawn in, and try to keep that, it's subtle, and straighten the back leg. Breathe those arms up, link the thumbs, and side bend to the right. Open up through that whole right side. Release the bind. Inhale, reach those arms up. Exhale, arms open, take a high twist to the right. Right arm back, left arm forward. One more breath. And then inhale those arms, reach them up into the center. Step back to plank. Pivot your heels to the left side. Plank. Lift the hips. Draw that left shoulder away from your ears. Engage that bottom leg. So squeeze that left glute. Press into the outer edge of the left foot so that that right leg can have some freedom and lift up if that's good for you today. 3, 2, nice. Pivot back. Downward facing dog with an optional flow here. Coming back to downward facing dog. Maybe you take a lion's breath. Maybe you just fill up with your breath throughout this whole shape, like home base. Now inhale that right leg, reach it up. Bring your knee to your chest. Step forward. Yeah, and pivot the back heel. Come on up to a warrior 2. So open the hips, release the arms. Your gaze can be right past those right fingertips. Now, a little bit of tuck under with the right buttock. Turn your torso towards the long edge of your mat. Relax the shoulders. Now just a little reverse warrior. Inhale, just one breath. Open up through the side. Exhale, side angle. So take that left arm either overhead or over towards the front of your mat. If it feels okay, reach the arm way on the diagonal. And if you have a block handy, place a block to the inside of your right foot so that it's right underneath and it's supporting your hand underneath your shoulder. Then press the arm into the knee slightly, opening up that left hip. And reach through the left fingertips as you press into the left outer foot. 3. Think of all this opening through that left side body. 2. And 1. Good. Take the block with you and come all the way up. Extend that front leg. Reverse your triangle. And then triangle. Reach forward. Reach forward, reach forward, reach that block forward. Take your left hand on your hip and start to bend the front knee, float right into your half moon. Your block about 4 or 5 inches to the outside of the right pinky toe. And now spin your heart, spin to the long edge of your mat. Stay here for 4 breaths. Strong through that extended leg, really strong. Spinning your heart towards the left, lightening a little bit on the block if you can, last 2. And now gently step back. To warrior 2, let go of your block. Pivot all 10 toes towards the long edge of your mat. Turn your toes out and your heels in, yeah? And then come down into like a squat and just go side to side here. You can keep your hands on your thighs You can bring your arms out to the sides, or you can bring your hands down and go a little deeper. So really up to you, just like this little skandasana side to side. And the next time your right knee is bent, pivot all 10 toes towards the top of your mat. Step back to plank. All right, pivot the feet side plank to your right. You can take your right knee down, or we're gonna take wild thing here. Keep the right leg exactly where it is, strong and rooted. Free the left foot behind, and then push into the left foot. You're pushing into both feet, really. And then lift up and back. 3, nice, 2, and slowly curl back to downward facing dog. Optional flow here if you're feeling good and strong today. Or if you want to build some more of that strength. Right? Coming back into your downward facing dog. And now left leg lifts, stretch it up there. Step your foot forward, pivot the back heel, warrior 2. Find that strong warrior. So sink down deep into the legs. Gaze forward past your left fingers, and then spin your torso to the long edge of your mat. Hollow out through the belly. Feel the strength by rooting down into your feet. Feel the strength in your legs. Hug the heels in towards each other. And then find some freedom and let go, kind of sensing through the spine and the jaw, the arms. So supporting some like buoyancy in the upper body by being strong and engaged through the lower body. Then reverse your warrior, spin that left palm up, inhale, open. Exhale, side angle. So go ahead and take your block again. Place it to the inside of your foot, any height. And get that opening. Choose where you want your arm, top arm. Tuck your left buttock under. Reach through the fingertips. If it feels okay, reach the arm way over in a diagonal. And then breathe into that whole long line from your outer edge of your right foot to your fingertips as you spin your heart towards the long edge of your mat. More breaths. Lighten up a little bit on the block, inviting that hip to open. Now pick up your block, straighten the front leg, reverse triangle, and then hinge forward, come into your triangle, and then right hand on your hip, bend that front knee, maybe take a step forward, and mindfully go into your half move here. So you're spinning your torso towards the long edge of your mat, just like before. And you're rooted and strong through the whole bottom foot. And strong through the extended leg too. If you've got it, try to look up. The strong legs are going to support the freedom of the gaze. 2. And a gentle step back, release your block. Pivot all 10 toes towards the long edge of your mat. Now bring your hands on your hips. Let's start with a little back bend here. Open up the chest, let your hips come forward, and then keep that heart drawing forward, hinge from your hips, and bring your hands down, wide-legged forward fold. Maybe you want to walk your feet a little wider apart and have your heels a little bit out and your toes slightly pigeon-toed in. And then just drop down. Push into your feet. Spin your inner thighs back. Shift a tiny bit of your weight more into the balls of your feet. See what that does. And then nod your head no. Just let it hang there. Nod it yes. One more breath. Surrender to the fold. Push down into the feet. And bend your knees. Pivot towards the top edge of your mat. Step back to plank. Yeah. Pivot the heels to the left side plank. You can always take a knee down, right? Or engage that left leg a lot. So you can free the right foot behind you. Then you push the right foot into the ground and you push the outer edge of the left foot and you lift up and back. Left shoulder away from your ear. 3, 2, freedom. And slowly pivot back. Whew. Let's take a child pose here. Place your knees down. Let your arms rest. So you might want to fold them and come into prayer hands behind your neck, giving the triceps a little bit of a stretch. You might have to hug your elbows in closer towards each other in order to feel it. And then come up onto all fours and bring yourself all the way down on your belly. Bring the heel of your hands, cobra, underneath your armpits. Reach through the big toes. Breathe in, lift your heart. Liquid spine. Breathe out, melt it down. Bring your arms down alongside your body, palms facing in. Breathe in, lift your heart, reach the arms back, lift the legs. And breathe out, release it down. Now, a couple of more. Bring your forearms into Sphinx pose. So your elbows are slightly ahead of your shoulders. And then pull the forearms back, release the low back. Offer the heart forward. Melt the bottom rib down and draw your heart forward. Pull the forearms back. Release through your neck. Now, if this feels okay, walk your hands forward about an inch or so. Forward. Elbows a little more forward way. Hug your low belly in and press into your hands and lift up. Now, if that's too much, go back to the forearms down. Holding it here for 3. Melting through the spine, 2. And slowly release all the way down. Stack your right hand on top of your left hand. Slide your left knee halfway up your mat. Turn your head to the left and just rest here for a moment and half an hour. Lay it back. Step your left hand on top of the right. Slide your right knee halfway up the mat. Turn your head to the right and forward breaths. Where can you let go? Are those glutes squeezing at all? Is your jaw clenching at all? Let it all go. And release that right leg back down. Stack your elbows underneath your shoulders, setting up for one short forearm plank. Tuck your toes. You can clasp your hands together or palms can be down up onto your knees, and then lift up onto your toes. Feet hip distance apart. Now draw the weight back towards your heels. Press it all back, draw the belly in. And you remember those cobras and those sphinx that we just did. Draw the heart forward slightly. But counter that with drawing the belly up and in. Nice and flat back. 5, 4, 3, 2, and now right up to dolphin. So lift your hips up, walk your feet forward a step, push into your forearms, let your head dangle. Your head is not on the mat, it's just dangling. Then you're lifting your hips up and back, heels towards the earth. Breathe. And then place the knees down. Walk your hands back so that you're sitting on your ankles. And then bring your hands behind you just to counterpose that dolphin. Open up your chest. Lift your heart. If you feel like you want to lift the hips, you can do that too. Then release. Right. Place your hands out long in front of you, extended child pose. And then lift up and back, downward facing dog. Setting up for pigeon, half pigeon, right? You can always take this on your back as an option. Right leg lifts up, bend the knee, open the hip. And then take your right knee and gently place it right behind your right wrist. Wiggle that left leg back, and if you have any pain in the knee, maybe bring the foot in closer, or lay on your back and do a figure 4. Now, if you have any space between your right hip and the floor, slide your blanket underneath there. Okay? And then before you come down, if you like the option using the blocks, you can try it on this side and maybe do it on the other side too. Stack one block on its half high end, skinny side up, under your sternum. The other block flat down, underneath your head. And if you don't have blocks, you don't need them. Inhale, extend, and then melt down over your blocks. Change the blocks if you need to move them down or up a little bit so that your sternum and your rib cage feel supported and your forehead is supported on the block. And then you can truly let go. Giving yourself permission to just melt into the support. And then start to slither side to side like you're like a snake slithering. Start to slither up, get rid of your blocks, get rid of your blanket, and step back to a 3-legged dog. Keep that right leg up. Bend the knee, open the hip. And now right knee kisses the right elbow, bring it forward. One more time, bring it back up, 3-legged dog, open it up. Actually, it's sunbird, open it up. And then exhale, this time step that right foot to lizard. Bring your back knee down. Kind of feel how that feels, right? Now let your arch of your right foot lift off the ground if that feels okay. So you almost let your right knee kind of come over to the right a little more, if that feels all right. And then start to walk your hands over to the left. Reach them over to the left. Maybe you can come down on your arms and surrender. So you've got this diagonal movement going on. The right knee's flopping out to the right. Pretty strong in that inner hip. Drop the head. And then start to wriggle your way back up. Ooh, curl up the back toes. Step back. Downward facing dog. If you'd like a flow here, flow through your vinyasa. Feel the difference. That right leg and the left leg right now. And now left leg, let's bring it over there. Bring it up. Bring your, did I do any tuck things here? The elbow, did I tap it to the elbow? And then I brought it back up, inhale. And then exhale, let's bring the knee right down behind the left wrist. And wiggle that right leg back. So just where you feel stable. And then use your blanket, especially if the hip isn't on the floor. Just give it that support so that you can melt a little more into this. Relax through the pelvic floor. Realign the left foot if you need to at all. And then if you liked that support with the blocks on the other side, go for it on this side as an option. You don't need to. High, skinny side up under your sternum, flat side up under your head. And release. In these moments of stillness, there are often times when our mind decides to start planning or worrying or doing. Just reel it back in. Focus on your body and where you may be able to release and you want more. And focus on your breath. Noticing your rhythm of your natural breath. Allow each exhale to invite a little bit more ease. If you feel even, if you need to stay, stay, right? Start to wriggle up, get rid of the blocks and the blanket. Curl up the back toes. And come back up to your three-legged dog, your sunbird. Open that left leg. And now step your left foot outside your left hand, wide lunge, stepping into lizard. So your left heel's on the mat and your toes are off the mat. Let your left knee kind of rest out to the left if that feels okay, lifting the inner arch of your left foot. Right? Just kind of wriggle in, move side to side, and then start to walk your hands way over on the right on a diagonal. Leaning your hips over to the left. Go carefully and just go to where it's right for you. Maybe you come on your forearms, maybe you keep the arms extended. And start to make your way back up. Step back, release hips to downward facing dog. One final flow if you're feeling it, using the whole body. Back to downward facing dog. Good. And then place your knees down. Take a couple of little cats and cows, but make them like round side to side. Let the spine just kind of be free to move any amount in any range of motion back and forth. And then just kind of sit back on your heels. And we're going to set up for supported, sort of like a supported fish pose. So set up one block on its high end for underneath your head, and the next block on its skinny side up, parallel, perpendicular to your mat. And then we'll carefully come around. We're almost to the end here. Slowly come around. Place the bottom of your shoulder blade on the bottom block, and your head is resting on the top block. Now start with your knees bent. Your arms are resting wherever they're comfortable. And if this feels like it's just too much opening through the rib cage and through the abdominal, you can go one step down, like put the block behind your head on the narrow side up and the block underneath you on the flat side, underneath your shoulders. But if you feel okay here, bring the soles of those feet together and let the knees open. Let them drop to the ground. And now with each breath, let the heart lift, let the belly expand, be soft. Each exhale melting. It feels like it's too much opening with the knees open. You can just extend the legs out straight or keep the knees bent. Feel how that block against the back of your shoulder blade can help you with making your breaths even fuller through the front body. And now carefully start to bring your knees together. Bring yourself up on your back on your forearms so that you can take your blocks out from underneath you. However you want to carefully do it, right? Get them out of the way. And then lay completely on your back. Bend your knees, feet on the floor. Feel the echo of that. And now hug your knees in, give them a good squeeze. Let your knees come over to the left, just a simple twist. Open your arms. Turn your head to the right. Breathe. And then knees back to center, over to the other side. Turn your head in either direction. And then coming back onto your back, Shavasana. course, if there's a final shape that your body is craving to do to finish your practice, do that. Otherwise, just release into your Shavasana. I'm gonna pause. Pause the wrong thing. Pause the music, not the recording. Sorry about that. Okay, so surrender. Close your eyes. Just a brief Shavasana this morning. With each inhale, imagine you're inhaling a sense of positive thoughts, positive feelings. And with each exhale, letting go of any negative stuff. Imagine you could really do that. Lingering on maybe something that you're grateful for today. Breathing that in, that sense of gratitude. And breathing out maybe some things that you've been worrying about and need to just let it go. Couple of more breaths. And then start to bring your awareness to the natural rhythm of your breath. Just notice how you feel. And start to move in any way to just start to wake up your body. Stretching out, hugging in. And as you're ready, hug your knees in towards your chest. Roll over onto one side gently. And then bring yourself up to your seat with compassion. Good. And then just sit cross-legged, however you would sit. And notice if maybe there's even a little bit more ease in this cross-legged position. We don't have a blanket under us now. Just notice if you have any more ease. It's a beautiful thing if you do. If we do, inhale, reach up. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Thank you for everyone. Send thanks to everyone across the little internet, whatever magic there is. And let's have a great day.